At their starting quarterback, and now Dak Prescott says he plans to return this week against the Lions. Yesterday, here on this program, Michael Irvin addressed the state of the star. Give a listen.
They out-schemed Dallas. But when all the scheme skipped out the door, and there was nothing left but man on man, meat on meat, 300 pounds, one of 300 pounds, we started slaying that giant. I reassessed myself. I said, look at this thing here right now. Okay, the flower fell off of old Cooper Rush. It was a nice flower, stood up there nicely, did what we needed it to do. But right now, we get Dak back, we get everybody back healthy. Dude, listen, we are right up in the middle of this thing still right now.
Those are the words of Michael Irvin. Give us a very quick assessment of what you just heard.
Michael Irvin is back. There's no better place to be than when you're slaying giants, Dan Graznasnanano. I love your last name. It's easy to say. Sounds like a delicious pasta dish. Give me another round of that Graznasnanano.
Okay. All right. So we are well on that front. Now, Marcus, let me come to you as my favorite former Cowboy here. If I were to say to you that the Dallas Cowboys right now are sitting prettier than any team in the NFC, inclusive of the one that is unbeaten and beat them the other night. And hear me out. Every team in the NFL is going to face adversity. It's going to happen, whether it comes in the form of injury or something else. Every team is going to hit adversity. Very few will hit more than the Cowboys have, and they not only have handled it, but they have risen above it, and I think gotten better because of it. The Cowboys are going in this direction. Every other team, let's wait and see what happens. I feel better about the Cowboys today than I did last week. Marcus, how about you?
Gee, I like how you're feeling, man. I didn't like how you was feeling when Dak got hurt. Okay, I was dead. Death knell. It's over. All right, you had to talk me off a ledge. You text me and you flexed on me a little bit, and you was like, I told you so after the 2 wins. But ultimately, yes, man. Like, football is like this, right? You got the emotional and the passionate side when we come on television and we talk about it, especially me when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. And then you got the side where this game was 20-17 in the fourth quarter. Right? Like, we've talked about how good the Eagles are. It's still a 9-point victory with 3 interceptions. I left this game saying Dallas is not as far away from Philly as I thought they were. Philly is still good. They the king of the NFC. They are the best team in the NFC. But I don't think any Dallas Cowboy player or anybody that follows this team walked away from that game saying, damn, that was so mismatched and out of the realm of possibility. I think what they said is 4 should add to this, and we should be able to at least be in this game late in the fourth quarter to have a chance to win it based off what they watch.
Jeff Saturday, what do you think?
I love it. And listen, if you're a Cowboys fan, that's the hope you hold on to for a fact. So I am old enough to remember when Greeny thought there should be a QB controversy in Dallas as well.
Oh, God,
so I think we put that to bed.
Thank you.
So now we can focus on the things really at hand. But when you talk about Dak and coming back to this football team got better with their second-string quarterback. That is, and to your point, Greeny, about dealing with adversity. Not only they got better. Their offensive line got better. Steele, their tackle, and Smith, their rookie tackle, is playing left. They've all gotten better. Their receivers are finding ways to try to learn how to create separation. So when you do bring your guy back in, you can still lean on that defense, still lean on the running game. Because by the way, your 2 running backs are still 2 of the best portions of your football team, and the way Kellen Moore is using them. It is hard to ever say the team got better with the adversity the Dallas Cowboys did. People got to be put on notice in the NFC.
No matter how great your quarterback is, you need to find opportunities to take pressure off of them. I think that was the difference in the Bills game with the Chiefs, was the Bills have receivers that can take pressure off of their great quarterbacks, and Mahomes doesn't have that. The Cowboys entered this season thinking, all right, Dak's going to save us. And then they were forced to learn how to take pressure off of their quarterback, which is only going to serve Dak better because they have learned how to the ball. They've also used their play action well, and their defense. It's a different mindset defensively when you go out there like, we can't give up no points. Then when you go out there and say, you know what, Dak might get us 35 today. If they can maintain this level of defensive play and maintain their rushing attack, Dak could be great.
That defense is built to play with a lead also, not to play from behind. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, I mean, we make these preseason predictions, and I think everybody assumes, oh, this is the roster, this is the lineup. The seasons are decided on how good you are when your quarterback gets hurt, how good your backup left tackle is, how good. I mean, the Colts just won 2 games without Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, that's not nothing, right?
Yeah.
So this is a huge thing the Dallas Cowboys have learned about themselves, that they can win games when things are going badly. Greeny's point absolutely nailed it.
How about them Cowboys?
And playing up to the expectations that we're capable, then that's my job. You know, I'm a quarterback. That's what my job is, to try to get us going and to try to rally us. And there's a lot of ways to do it. And sometimes it's getting on people and trying to raise the level, the sense of urgency, and raising my voice and trying to create a different vibration for the whole offense.
Okay, so that's an explanation, and it's certainly by no means the first time we have seen him or many other people do similar-looking things on sidelines. One thing that I think has to be brought up in this conversation for those who are not aware, Brady's longtime boss and very close friend, Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, got married on Friday night here in New York City. Tom Brady attended the wedding and then met the rest of his team in Pittsburgh on Saturday for the game. From what we understand, he missed a walkthrough and a meeting. Todd Bowles, the head coach, said afterwards he didn't miss any practice and suggested it had nothing to do with the game. That said, it certainly raised a lot of eyebrows. Marcus, I'll start with you. Do you have an issue with Brady going to the wedding on Friday night?
Yes. And first of all, what the hell Robert Kraft doing getting married during football season? That's a problem within itself. Here's the thing, man. Like, I have a big issue with this because it's coming off of the heels. First of all, let's like go chronologically through this. Tom Brady retires, okay? Situations change. Dudes make decisions off of that. He decides to unretire and come back to Tampa. All right, so that reshifts what they are doing in Tampa. Great, the GOAT is back. We got a chance. We Super Bowl contenders. Training camp begins. Tom Brady takes an 11-day hiatus. It was already planned and talked about. Okay, fine. Nobody tripping about that. It's good. It's Tom Brady. He got Super Bowls. He's been MVPs. He's considered the greatest of all time. We get into the season, and you leave for a wedding. Now, unfortunately, the wedding lends itself to playing bad on Sunday. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I just know it happened. All right, a team that we left for dead in the Pittsburgh Steelers came out and got a win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who a lot of people considered one of the Super Bowl favorites to come out of the NFC because Tom Brady is the quarterback. And then we watch him on the sideline go off. And to your point, G, I'm glad you said it. We just seen quarterbacks do this. We saw Jeff Saturday almost knock the hell out of Peyton Manning because Peyton was talking crazy on the sideline when they was playing. This ain't the first time we done seen this happen. The problem is when you look at these dudes in the face and they don't really know if you fully committed to what y'all doing, Tom Brady is the GOAT. All right, let's get that out of the way. But also, there is a season to be played. Today is October 18, 2022. You know what them championships matter today? Nothing. It don't matter. And how we are programmed and what we are learned in football is what have you done for me lately? Every season is a new season. And the problem in Tampa right now, when we see Tom go off on his offensive lineman like that, is you got to ask the question of if these guys are asking, like, damn, Tom, like, we respect you, we love you, but no, we don't even know where you at right now. We don't even know if you fully committed to what we doing right now. So that's why I think it's a problem at.
I'm glad he brought up Peyton Manning because that is the person to whom Tom will always be compared and contrasted. And you, of course, were there with Peyton all those years. Could you just imagine the circumstance?
Not even, dude, don't even let it come out your mouth. Ain't no freaking way, bro. I'm just telling you, like, listen, Peyton Manning, he sells it for commercials. He'll shoot any commercial known to man. We see him all the time. But let me tell you something. In the offseason, I'm not talking about the season. In the offseason, he would go shoot his commercial and be back to make sure he did not miss a team event in the offseason. He dang sure wouldn't think about doing anything in the season. And here is my thing. Let's just talk about the normal schedule for football teams on a Friday. You're normally done 2-ish. You're going to go to a wedding in New York, great. So you jump on your private jet, you go up, watch this, go see Robert Kraft, get married, do whatever, see all your boys, dap them up. Get your butt back on the plane, fly home that you can dang sure afford, sit down with your team, and then travel to Pittsburgh. Listen, there's a lot of dudes in the NFL that go out on Friday night. I know that's a shock to people, but there are people who do things, right? Mm-hmm. So my issue is not only that the meeting and the time with your teammates was secondary. That's my biggest issue, because at some point you have everything at your disposal that you could do and still be with the team. To say Peyton Manning, and when I tell you no chance, I mean that dude, something tragic. I mean, that's the only way he's missing anything.
To think that Tom Brady would do this sounds absurd too, because
I
Tom
agree.
Brady is
I
just
agree.
as obsessive as Peyton Manning. And I don't know necessarily that the players on the team are looking at him questioning how committed he is, but I do think that there's something to be said for certain leaders on the team. Their behavior sets the culture of the team, the things that are acceptable. And so if Tom Brady is going to take 11-day hiatus, and it's not just one of these things, it's the fact that he's doing all of these things.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think that anyone's sitting around like, well, Tom's not committed, but I do think that guys who would see that example of Tom Brady being there extra time, Tom Brady's like setting up practices outside on high school football fields, Tom Brady doing all that stuff, that demonstrates to them that the expectation is we're all going to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right now, he is setting an example as like he is the culture, he is the organization. Now he's setting an example that sometimes there are
But
other
you're
things
saying they're
more
not
important.
questioning. That's why you do question.
Oh, but I think
because
so.
you've
I know.
seen it. You've
Like,
seen
I'm-
it go the
yeah.
other way.
Let me get Graz in.
Something
Go.
in you would question it, right?
That's what I'm saying,
Like let's say Greeny stopped showing up for the 6 o'clock meeting, right? And he had something else to do, right? And then like in a break, we had a bad segment, and he's screaming in our faces about how we need to be better. Part of you would be thinking,
Watch yourself.
where were you when we were prepping the show, right?
Yeah, you just went off the rails a
went
little
too
bit. But I'm
far.
like,
No, I said if. This is not happening. This is a hypothetical. But the fact of the matter is, like, in your head somewhere, you'd be thinking, dude, where were you?
No, it's
that's a big part of this.
It's a good
And by the way,
analogy.
if you're gonna do the wedding thing,
Yeah.
you better show up and beat one of the worst teams in the league. Like, if you lose this
man.
game, now
Thank
you've
you.
opened yourself up to all this.
You know, it was funny when Tony Dungy was our coach. It was always about, man, what do you think perception and reality is? Because perception is a big deal, and if you don't show up for something and then you play bad, you just add on. So his whole thing is leave no doubt of where you sit from a team perspective.
Yeah.
The team during the season always comes first. Other than family, it always comes first. So the perception is a huge deal that he's not doing it. Whether it affects the game or not makes no difference.
It was lost on no one that Bill Belichick was not there.
Preach.
That to my knowledge, none of the active Patriot players were there. I could be wrong. Any of them, I'm sure, were back on Saturday. Listen, had they gone out and beaten Pittsburgh 38-3 or whatever it was, like Buffalo did, then we wouldn't be talking about this. And thus, maybe it's ridiculous. 15 seconds, Marcus, go.
There's a reverence we have to talk to this about because of Tom Brady's history. But that's why I pointed out, like, it's October 18th.